How's this? Turned on the wrong microphone? You can hear me now, right? I didn't say anything important. I just said hello to everybody. Hello, Kelly. Hello, Shirley. Hello, Francie. I did the same thing last week. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Tia. Hi. If I missed you, I apologize. There we go. I don't have anything to really show with you guys tonight. For some reason, my phone didn't come on my tablet. So I'm going to go ahead and quick switch this over and shut this camera off. And I will get this up and close. So here is the embossing powder of the month. Hello, Lisa. Hi, Penny. Hi, Stephanie. That's called Sandstone. Oops, sorry, I got way too close there. And I love it because that's my hometown. Its name is Sandstone. They come in pouches like this, but I put them in ones that I leave, because I have some of my more used ones in Tupperware. So I save them and I move them over to that. So this is what Sandstone. Why do you do 2 of each color? Okay, I will tell you that, Shirley, in just a minute. So here's what it looks like. What this is let me find a blank one. So this is a free download on the website. It is an embossing powder. It's in the digital, and it will have these 2 squares, Shirley. And then what I do is I use these swatch stotches, which I'll put one on for you guys. They're sticky on both sides. So I just peel it off and I will stick one on each one of these. And then when I'm ready, I will peel off the release paper, put the embossing powder on it, and then I will melt it. And why I do 2 is because sometimes they will look different on different colors. For example, here's redwood. This was a freebie with one of my orders. And if you see, this is what it would look like on white, but has a little bit of a different color if it's on black. Same thing with curtain call. See the difference between this would be white and then with the black, so you can see a little bit through. Some of them you're not going to see a difference. Like in Sandstone, it doesn't really show much of a difference. That's why I do 2. So the other embossing powder, hello Kate, hello Walter, is the Succulent, and this does come in the box. And this is what it looks like. And I moved it out of the jar. This does come in a container like this as well, but I have the one that came in the box came in, I think it comes in a container like this. It looks like that on the website. I guess I'll see because I ordered it. But I put it in here as well, and this is what it looks like when it is melted. You're welcome, Shirley. No problem. That's one of the reasons this was designed for that. So I try to do it every month, and then I write down the month that they're available so that way you guys would know. So like, yeah, curtain call on black is beautiful. Here's a really good one here's Blizzard. Blizzard on white, you can see the white, but on the black, you can also see the black. So you can see kind of that for different ones. And this is just regular old paper, nothing's fancy for it. It's 80-pound cardstock. So, all right, you're welcome. All right, guys, it's 80 some degrees. I've got the windows open. It's great. The garage, living room is open officially as of this week. So I stamped out a bunch of the succulent. I stamped out all the succulent and cactus stamps on Aqua Pigment paper. I did it with the succulent, and I did it with the Raven, and then I put icicle embossing ink on top, or embossing powder on top, and I heat set them, and then I die cut them all out. So, because we're going to do my lazy way of die cutting or coloring today. I hope that's okay. I've got some other pieces prepped. That's about as much as I had planned for today, and we'll see how things go. You're welcome, Kate. I started doing it because I started putting the swatch stotches. You can put them on your containers, but then you have to have your containers out to sea. So I really like having that digital download that Christopher came up with to swatch them all out. So and then I think you can get like a 4-pack of the swatch stocks. This is 12 sheets. 12 sheets of 12. It's the bulk pack. And I got that because I obviously get a lot of embossing powder. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to do my lazy way. Hello, Christopher. I am going to do my lazy watercoloring. And why I say that is that I'm not a watercolorist by any means, but I just have fun with it. So I've just got some water here. I am going to grab a paper towel because it's always nice to have that. And then I'm going to do both. We're going to do colors on both of the same. I'll put this off to the side. Okay, so I'm just going to pull out a couple of these and we'll get started. So I wanted to use, you've activated a special discount just for the live. So make sure you fill up your carts, you guys. I do not have a lot of pastel aqua pigments, and I didn't want to use chroma mists right now because I used those last, and I know Christopher used those last night. So I'm going to kind of create my own, and the create your own ending, the CYOE challenge this month is to use pastel colors or a pastel color. So I'm going to kind of just play a little bit. So I've got Glinda, which is from our Oz release. I just got that not too long ago. And this is Cosmo. I do too. The succulent is really pretty. And then teal, which was, I think came out last fall. Since I don't watercolor all the time, I always want to make sure that I shake up my watercolors just to make sure the colors, and then make sure you squeeze out any that's in the dropper so that you make sure you have a really good color mix. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to add a little bit of white to some of these. I got white and I have pearl. Pearl is obviously one of my favorites, but I want to add white because I want to dilute these ones just a little bit. We're just going to play. And, you know, I actually took a picture of a succulent I saw today. Don't ask me why it came up on my screen at work today, but of course it's on my phone and I'm videotaping with my phone. It was a pink succulent. Yes, shake, shake, shake your pigments, especially if they've got the shimmer in them. And like Linda does. And I'm just going to add a drop of the pearl because I love mine to be shimmery. And we're just going to have fun. I don't have the Dorothy yet. Glinda was the first one that I had. So I'm really excited about that. I am going to cheat and put on my cheaters, you guys, just because. Like I said, this is aqua pigment paper. And what I mean by lazy way coloring, what is that I'm just taking clean water and I'm just going to wet the whole thing down. And because I used embossing powder, the color will stay in my lines. So I'm going to go ahead with pink. You know, sometimes that has happened when I haven't used them in a while and I need to make sure I shake them up really good. So I'm just dabbing some color in, and I will bring it up a little closer to you guys because I don't have like a zoom available. And I'm just adding the water and I'm just, oops, sorry, autofocus. Come on. And if you can see that, it's focusing on my hand, probably because of the color. But I'm just dropping some water in and I'm letting the water do the work. And that's what I call lazy watercoloring. It's totally out of my control. I just like I said, I drop the water in, let it go, and I leave it. And I found that I've really enjoyed that more than trying to color them myself. You know, I actually just went through my entire aqua pigment collection because been collecting for years. You know, I mean, since I started buying from British Monroe. And I went through all of my colors and I went through all of the ones that are no longer available and I moved them away. I decided I had to take them out of my stash from where they sit up on the wall right up here so that I can still use them. I just don't want to accidentally grab them and then, oh, sorry, you guys, this one isn't available. So I have them in a box off on the side, and then I went through and because I had lots of reds and this and that, and I wanted to make sure I had them all together. So it's so prettier looking. So I was super excited when well, Francie, sometimes I was just discussing this with someone the other day that, I mean, I've actually been on the design team for a little while, uh, 3 years maybe. So obviously I have some older product that is still no longer available. And I don't want to accidentally use it, because then you can't get it. I mean, you might have it, but a new customer isn't going to have it. Okay, so I'm just mixing these up. I'm not adding any water. My brush is wet, but I just added a little water, or I mean, a little white and a little of the pearl, which gives it the shimmer. And then I'm just wiping that off so that those are ready to go when we get there. I did the same thing to this one. I just added a bunch of water, and we're going to drop the Glinda in there again. Yes, they can have a shelf life. So you do need to, so please use them. I actually had that happen to an orange a while that was way, way old, like 4 years old. And I just use it as a brown once in a while. But please use them. They're fun to ink smush with and and all that stuff. So, ooh, there's a new cacti background bundle. I have to check that out. I'll have to check that out afterwards. I'm super excited. I just love this. I have an idea. Walter created a very cute card. I'll give it away. I'll give you away my idea. The other day and posted it with the cowboy hat. And I actually had a similar idea the other day, and she's probably listening, so she's going to hear this. So it's just too bad if she hears it and she gets the surprise ruined. If she watches the replay, hopefully I can get it to her. But I have a friend who's graduating, and I want to make her a card. And she is one of my biggest supporters. And I want to use the cactus die, and I'm going to put a little graduation cap on it. So I'm excited for that. Now, some of this isn't flowing, so I'm just going to grab some water and just throw some water in right close to where it is, and then it will kind of eke out where I want it to be, so it's not. And then we're just going to let it sit and see what happens. Okay? It's not all the way colored, but it's got some white tips, but I'm okay with that just because it was a super cute card. All right. So next we're going to grab this one, and I think we're going to make this one blue. So this was the teal with a little bit of white and a little bit of the pearl. I'm going to go ahead and wet this down. I thought what I would do is I wanted to do them in both colors so you had the idea so you could see if you colored your cacti or in your succulents and then watercolored with them versus just having the black. Or, for like almost a no line coloring, you could stamp them in the embossing ink and cover them with like the pearly rainbow, the fairy dust, or even the icicle. And then when you go to do them, they almost have like a no line coloring, which would be cool. May have to try that. So, all right. So I hope everyone's having a great week. I know Miss Heather and Miss Jess are getting ready to leave tomorrow. I talked to Heather this afternoon for a little bit. For Create. So for those who are going, I think Michelle, you said I think you were going to be going. That will be fun. Oh, and I know a couple of you asked, my dad's last night I mentioned it. My dad's doing okay. I haven't heard an update yet today. There might have been one before, but I muted my phone about an hour ago so that I wouldn't forget to do that and get kicked off the live, because that has happened to me before. So he's had some issues with his foot, and he had to have some stuff happened. I really wish to use this. You know what, Kate? If you should be able to add a little shimmer, depending on if you don't want to dilute it too much. If you don't, you can use the pearl. And I like to water it down a little bit so that it's more translucent. if you use it, but you could also just put it right on top and it should, if it, especially if you use it over some like watercolory, like aqua pigments or chroma mists. Or you could lightly, if you have, I will be honest, if your project is done and you want to add some shimmer, you know what? I would probably, you could try it on scratch first. Oh, I would, Francie, but he lives really far away. I live 4 hours away. So I haven't talked to him yet. I'm kind of waiting to hear. I'm hoping maybe I can call him tomorrow. He's 80, so is the ornamental gold chroma mist is one of my favorite things to kind of put on, and it kind of gives a shimmer to everything. Thank you, guys. He is diabetic and he's having some issues with his feet. So, and he's also been a smoker, so he had some issues with the plaque and having to have some veins opened up. So, but I know I said something last night about it and wanted to say that, I think he's doing okay. So, all right, so that one is done. We're going to add this. We're going to add some more color to this one. Francie, did you try refreshing? Hi, Heather. I was just talking about you. I said I had just talked to you this afternoon. Sometimes I get that, Francie, and I have to quick refresh and then my cart will pop up. It doesn't happen every time, but it does happen every once in a while. But sorry, sometimes when I watercolor, I get a little quiet. So looking forward to the weekends. Last weekend, I didn't end up getting a lot done in my craft room like I wanted to. I did some laundry, I did some mowing of the lawn, spent time with my puppy, and then Sunday I spent most of the time outside with my honey. Oh, try out the okay, guys, check out the cacti background bundle. So I will have to do that. Oh, is that the cacti background? Is that the 6x6 stamp? That one's cool. I don't know if I have that. I don't want to click on it because I'll disappear on you guys and you will be like, where'd she go? So, okay, thank you. Yeah, it's a cool stamp. I don't think I have that one. I have a couple of the older 6x6, but I don't know if I have that one. Oh, there you go, Francie. All right. So I'm just going to add a little extra water so this kind of moves a little bit. Oop, we forgot to do this spot here. Okay, the flower doodle, I think I have that one. If you guys give me a minute, let me go peek. I know exactly where it is. Okay, I lied. I moved it. Here. There it is. So, let's see. Nope. Okay, I have the flower doodle. I have the flower doodle. So I believe it's this one. Is this the flower doodle? I'll take it out of the plastic. This is the flower doodle stamp that I have. I believe that's it. Oh my goodness. There we go. So it's this great 6x6 stamp, and then in the center. Okay, there you go. So I do have that. And that one's fun. I know I saw the cactus one, and I forgot to put it in my order. Now, this is really funny, you guys. There's a lot more water on this one than there's this one, and look at the difference in the colors. Here, I'll put them on here and try to see if I can get them to come up. It's the same paper. It's just that I put more water on the one. So that can make a big difference. Okay. And then, of course, the green with the black, the black makes the turquoise kind of stand out a little more. So we got those. We're going to leave those go. And now we need to do some purple. let's grab this one. I did all of them, so. Hi, Cherie, how are you? Yeah, it is a crazy difference. And like I said, it's the same. I'm using water on both, and I just flooded both. That's the other one, Michelle, that I know that there was the succulent border. I saw that one too, and I totally forgot to put those in my cart. Tomorrow's payday. Maybe I'll have to place an order. So I'm gonna go ahead and flood them both. I have most of the die cutting done ahead of time, and I did make a couple of backgrounds ahead of time. I'll show you what I did. They're nothing fancy or anything. So, all right. So this one is the Cosmo that I put in a little bit of the white and a little bit of the shimmer. I didn't put a lot of the pearl in, so I don't know how shimmery they'll be. They may just be a little bit. But I thought it would be fun to show, like I said, the colors on this. Tomato tomorrow. Woohoo, you guys. Yes, go shop, shop, shop. I will have to check it out. Thank you very much, Christopher. This has been fun. I couldn't wait to get this. And it's funny because this shipped at the same time as my live order, but my live order decided to take a trip and it won't be here. It's in Des Moines, but it won't be here till tomorrow. So I have my pastel chroma mists and the new the new chroma glazes and the new pastel chroma mists. They're all sitting in Des Moines waiting for me, along with with Thorn stamp set and a couple other things that I ordered. So I was sad because I wanted to have those for tonight, but it worked. We'll play with those next week. There you go, Walter. It's a fun stamp. I didn't remember that it was in. I'm glad I said something because then I can put it in my, in my to use bin. No, it did not show up at my house. I jokingly was telling her that that's what I was using tonight was her order, but she knew I was kidding, obviously. So, all right, we got to add a little bit more water to a couple of these because it didn't quite flood the way I wanted it to. I definitely think this is a great set to practice that with you guys. If you're a little nervous about watercoloring florals, because I know I was for a long time. Michelle, if there's something you really want, I would say baby buy it for sure, just in case. Because I know with lots of people at Create, um, in case you're waiting. No, you buy what you want. I know that's a dilemma all the time, you guys, is watching a live and then especially one of a Brutus Monroe live, and then I'm like, I want to go shopping. There's always something I got to add to cart. It doesn't matter if it's the fulfillment and show and tell time or what. I went to Fort Myers a few years ago too. It was beautiful. So we got those two. And then I think we need to do just a couple more here. We're going to mix a couple of the colors. That's okay with you guys. Just going to pull a couple of these out. What time is it? 7:25. We got some time. I want to do a few extras because we got to give that a little bit of time to dry. And I do want to use these ones, I think. So we're going to quick do these here. So going to flood it. The nice thing is with these is if you really didn't, you could ink smush. And because it's aqua pigment paper, you could do the border as well. And that would be all like the little edge border. Thank you, Francie. I think they're turning out really well too. I was really excited to play with these. I don't know what sentiment I'm going to use yet. I hadn't thought that far. I was going to have all of that done and stamped out, and I was doing a little bit of this during Christopher's Live last night, and then when that was over, I was doing a little more and, you know, playing with different things so things would dry. I did my background last night. Just flooding this with a bunch of water. This is going to be very, very purpley. I'm okay with that. But we're going to quick go in here and grab a little bit of the blue. And we're going to throw it in just a couple of spots and let them kind of mix. Oh, my brush is too wet. Oh, good. There is some shimmer in that. I can't quite tell the angle I'm at. I love, 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 love the pearl. Yeah, go for it, Melissa. I'm always I'm an enabler. Go for it. I'll twist your arm. All right, add a little bit of blue to this one. I try to put it where there isn't any color. Another thing you can do is you can add the color and you could spray it with water. I'll do that with one of them and show you what that's kind of like. There we go. So I'm just going to kind of let them dry. I don't know. I'm not necessarily going to use all of them on my cards. But I thought we'd do some. So this is the one I'm going to wet this down. I'm dried this off. I'm going to grab the Glinda and just kind of dab each one of these very quickly. And then we'll spritz it with water. Kind of like powder, shimmer powders and stuff. You can kind of do that too and have that kind of mix. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of the blue and add it into a couple of them too. So I'm just barely touching this in here. And I'm not adding glue to all of them. And then I'm just going to grab my mister and I'm going to just spray it. And then it'll kind of let it mix itself together. This one's got a little bit smaller of an area, but it does do that. All right. I think we're going to use the green ones tonight, so I'm not going to paint anymore. I want to let them dry, and then we're going to start talking about what else I've done here. So very quickly, I take those off. I'm going to grab a piece of Aqua Pigment paper, and we're going to quick grab up what's left here on my plate, on my desk. So what I do is I take this, the Neon Lunar Paste Bundle. I haven't gotten any of the neons yet. But then again, I haven't played a lot with my regular ones. And I'm just going to kind of grab some of this. Not too worried about what it's going to look like because I can just use this for anything. I'm just a big proponent about using up what's on your table. So I'm just going to set this aside and play with this more later. Okay. Okay, there we go. They look cool. I just haven't played with them yet. All right, guys. So we're going to let these kind of sit here and dry. So what I did last night is I took a piece of aqua pigment paper and I sprayed it with a bunch of chroma mists. I sprayed it with, let's see, I did copper shimmer. I did, nope, I did not do that one. I did a pink. I did holly berry. I did all sorts of colors. I just kept playing with it and ended up kind of, Melissa. Yes, kind of. If you haven't seen one live, here is, this isn't neon, but it's a paste. And I'll put a little piece on something here and we'll let it dry while we're talking. Let's see, I have a piece of, I'll just kind of, I like the metallic-y ones. I like because see the shine? It's very shiny. There you can kind of see it. I do like using them. I just forget about them. Because I have chroma glaze, but I do like them. Okay, I'm gonna put that aside. This one was, I can't see the name. Is the slippery when wet? Yep, this was slippery when wet. Okay, so that's all I did for this, is I just sprayed it. It was petaled together. I took another piece of aqua pigment paper and I squished them together and I pulled them apart, and I have two pieces that will look like this. And then I just cut it down. So, and I used some with the shimmer and stuff. So this is our background. Now I thought what would be fun is I used, where did I put them? This is a circle from the doily, the vintage doily set, which of course, here it is. I have a bunch of things cut out. I took the circle and I just cut it out of Not Your Mama's. And I cut Not Your Mama's because I want to be able to, I'm going to heat emboss on it. And I think we're going to heat emboss the sandstone. I think it's really fun, and I think it's just going to have a little bit. Is Lunar, what do you mean your paper? Thank you. Oh, it's pretty, the paper. Yes. Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Like I said, I just sprayed a bunch of chroma sprays on them and I just left them and it dried back. So I don't remember all the colors. I apologize. I just grabbed some. So I'm not going to use the embossing glaze because I want it to, I'm going to do some heat boss. Yes, I'm going to do the, with this, and I want to use the Not Your Mama's because I'm hoping that I have embossing ink left in here. When I came in this evening, I saw that I had left the cover off my embossing powder. So hopefully I still have embossing ink in there. It didn't dry out. I thought the sandstone would be lovely because I think we're going to do some succulent too. All right. So we've got the sandstone there. I got to plug in my heat tool because I forgot to do that. I do not leave my heat tool plugged in ever. And I know you're going to yell at me, Francie, but we're just going to move this over to the side because I'm going to use more. I'm going to use my fingers. Heat it up just a little bit. Not going to be anywhere near my fingers. No, it's going around the second instead of it. That's okay. Oh, well, I have a different idea for the green, Melissa, but I appreciate that. I love how shiny it is. I just love how shiny that is. And because this side is done, I'm just giving it a minute before I touch it because I have touched it and put my fingerprints in there. So we're just going to kind of, well, first I better melt the rest of the powder that's on there before I do. If you heat emboss this several times, you would get a very, very smooth finish too. All right. So we're going to quickly, actually, I'll just do it on here because I can wipe this up quick. So I have a different idea for the green. That's why I'm going to pass on that one, but I do like that idea. A two tones look would be fun. Okay, we're going to put this away before, I think this is going to become one of my favorite embossing powders. And it's not because I'm biased. So I don't know if I said this before, but yes, I grew up in Sandstone, but the reason my town is called Sandstone is there was a rock quarry that my grandpa worked at, and it for sandstone rock. So that's reminds me of my grandpa. Okay. I wanted to do this to kind of ground our images. And help them kind of pop off the color. I mean, I know that both colors are the same, but we're going to add some of that green in here too. It is really neat. If you are on TikTok, later tonight, I will be uploading my swatching video of swatching these two. Okay, so we've got this. I am going to use the green ones tonight. So let's move these ones off to the side. They're not 100% dry yet, so we may have to kind of, you know, and I don't know if we're going to use them all. I really like that pink with that. But here's my second idea. I went and grabbed the Magnificent Wreath. And this is what it looks like when you put it together with the shadow layer, which, I mean, isn't that pretty? Look at, I mean, if you could use the succulents with that, but I did do it out of vellum in case we had time to do some, another card here, but I used the leaves and I cut them out of Not Your Mama's. And this time, Francie, I promise I'm going to use a tweezers, and we're going to dip these in the succulent and then use them, because the leaves, I think, look very like some of the succulents. So I think that will be a fun addition to ours. So I grabbed some, I did some in vellum, I did some in Not Your Mama's. So we're gonna I'm gonna stamp them all. We're gonna wipe up our desktop, and then we're gonna dip them in the embossing ink. Let's do one more. I think I have one. Oh, yeah, here, let's do this one. Okay. So I'm gonna quick kind of move these off to the side, just a little bit. Get some of my beautiful squeaky clean that I love the smell. Yep, and I have it partly prepped, crazy cat lady. So I do have some, you know, we might have some time because I have it partially prepped since we did all the coloring. So we're gonna do that. Let me grab my little tweezers here. And what I'm gonna do is we're gonna dip it, and we're gonna do a little bit extra heat bossing tonight. And I always kind of make sure that I wipe off my tweezers here a little bit, because I really don't want, these are my good tweezers, so I really don't want to get any embossing powder on them. And the white is going to dilute it down a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and dip these all in quick so we get them in while they're fresh. And what I like to do when I do extras is I kind of just take like this, and I set an edge to them. Yes, this is my only pair of reverse tweezers that I own, to be honest with you. And I do not want to get them embossing powder. I have other tweezers, one that's like a clean pair and one that I use. I need to buy another set of reverse tweezers. I just haven't. This was with an event, so that's the only reason I even have it, to be honest with you. So I am going to need to put more embossing ink on these. I did not get a lot of embossing ink, and there's little hairs everywhere. You have 3. Yeah. I have the one, but I have other types of tweezers. And I know things are blowing around. We're okay. I'm okay. There's something, I can grab it. And the Halushki would be really pretty, and the jade would be really pretty if you wanted really bold colors for green. Or doing it on one of the cabbage or the Jurassic. But I wanted to do white tonight with the Not Your Mama's. Of course you have 3, Heather, always. And my desk is a mess. I can't get my thing here. So I don't know why we're doing all of these, because I know we're not going to need all of them. We're going to put this piece of paper back down. And we're going to really ink blend. We're going to really put the stuff on them and get them covered. Oh, is that all of them? Why do I feel like I'm missing one? I probably am. That's okay. We're gonna just really, really, really put the embossing ink on these. I would probably use embossing glaze if I was just not live and take my time to paint them, but I don't want you to sit there and have to watch me paint. All right. So now we got to move this off to the side because there's embossing ink on that, and my paper, my stuff will stick to it. We're just going to do this. And it doesn't matter if we don't get the whole thing because these are going to be tucked underneath. These are just more accents. It's, you know, it is very funny. I've been trying to be a lot better about it. Like I think I told you guys I cleaned my craft room a couple weeks ago, rearranged just a couple of items here and there. Moved my big scrap bin that was right here to the right of my desk. And we're just going to move this way over here. Oops. So that I can heat emboss. And it was just amazing. I never did find the dies that I was missing, if you can believe that. So I ended up, I'm glad I did order the dies I was missing. I was missing my circle dies, and I just reordered them instead. Oh, pokey tools, I have quite a few. Scissors is crazy. I had scissors from before when I was a cheap crafter and didn't realize that tools were the good tools. That's what you need. So I have some of those. They're from like a box store. They work, but they're not the same. And then I have my Brutus Monroe ones that I got from Junkie Fest a couple years ago. And it's okay that I don't have a little bit right there because we're going to cover that up. Then I have, of course, my big, Dollar General scissors that sit up in the corner. My cheap ones, but yeah, I have quite a few of those. Board folders, I don't have quite as many of those as I would have thought. Paint brushes, spatulas, of course, blending brushes. I don't know how many brushes anymore. I mean, I don't need another blending brush like a hole in my head, but probably gonna buy some other time. I have the little Bruce Monroe ones. I have one for every color for the fine and hurling inks, and then a few extras, but I have the rainbow colors for the big ones. It was funny. I saw something over in Junkie Fest the other day about somebody saying, is it wrong of me to want another die cutting machine? And they're like, you're in the wrong group. We're of course going to tell you you need another one. This is Stamp Junkies. Oop. I have one of those. I don't have room for another one of those, but I do have a scan and cut. Not that I use it that often. All right, we got our last one here. Like I said, I'm not terribly worried about the bottom sides not getting colored. They're going to cut these out. I only have one glass mat. Right now I only have one. I have one of each size misty. That is going to hopefully change this year. I need at least another. I need a Misty 2.0. That is on my list this year. Nope, not for me. I don't know if it's Penny. Do you do that? Oh yeah, for some late. Oh, okay. Francie's asking what that is. It's kind of like heat printing, isn't it? Is that a good way to describe that, Penny? Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I have tons of, and tons and tons, and yes, there is embossing powder all over my desk, which I knew there would be. I'm just going to grab a Swiffer here quick and sweep it up. Is 12 by 12 pattern paper. I just don't use it, and I don't cut it down. I need to, and it's a goal, but I just haven't. I figured someday when I'm retired, right? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and I want to use the ones with the green. So we've got this one, and I think I want this blue one. And yes, Swiffer cloths for the wins. And I don't know if I want that one. We need one more. I might use this purple one. I think we're going to use those. So this is kind of what I'm thinking for my layout. Yes, there you go. Yep. Yeah, it's not, yeah, heat transfer vinyl, but I've seen it. Excuse me. I would probably get into it if I had space. And then we're going to grab these and we're going to stick these in a couple spots. And I think they just are the perfect little addition for this. This one is your favorite? Well, it's purple, so it's kind of one of mine too. Oh, those are the same exact ones. We don't want to put those together. All right, so we got that, and then I might cut this one down and use it in 2 spots. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Okay. I believe he does 2. Oof, that's hot. All right, let's get some squeaky clean on there. Where'd I put it? Oh, okay. There it is. Get that cleaned off there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, before we glue this all down, we got to decide on our sentiment. And I'm leaning towards, I may throw a couple of those velvet ones in there too. I'm leaning towards we will either find a way or we'll make one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am not florals is something I struggle with, but it's something I just kind of play and add to. I think one thing I have learned in the last year or so with florals is texture helps. So the heat embossed or a different pattern, a different paper, a shiny paper, something like that helps add to it, since these are paper flowers, I guess, if that makes sense when you're making clusters. So we're going to use the white because I'll have a white border. And we're going to use the green succulent. We're going to heat emboss it. Francie, I still struggle with florals, but I feel like that helps me a little bit. I struggled with florals. I've been struggling with florals, and then here's a company out there that does a lot of florals that are very, that have matching stencils and like washi tape and things like that. And I have a friend who is that it lives in Minnesota, not too far from my family, and she kind of let me play with them once. And I took a class and learned I took a watercoloring class, and I was very proud of my watercoloring, and that pushed me out of the floral bin. And then what really, really did it, to be honest, for you after that was last year's spring release, those lovely lilies. Oh, that's just one of my favorite stamps. And the Sweet Daisies. Those 2 stamp sets made me just fall in love with it. Okay, yep. I like arranging them, but coloring I am not a big person that likes to color them with markers per se anymore. I find it's more fun to do watercoloring because you can do this, like I said, lazy way of coloring with Aqua Pigments Chroma Mists, and it's so much more forgiving. Water, I just find that that's the easiest way to go. And adding a little white, or just like I said, adding the water to it and then letting it flood itself. That is how I feel like that. Hello from Lake Elmo, Minnesota. I am from Minnesota originally. Die cut ones are fun. You know what, Melissa? I collect a lot of them. I don't use them. I have some of those layering ones, and I've only used 2 of the sets. I'm horrible about it. They are ones I like. I just never use them. So this has been more my fun. So the lily set, this one set, and like I said, the sweet daisies, I think is what it was called last year. I love those. Okay, so we will find a way one way or the other. We're going to get this die cut out. We're going to start gluing us together. And then we will put it together. And then if you want me to, we can maybe throw one more together. I don't want to go too long. Just because my puppy will start to bark. Mama, it's time to be done and spend time with me and see me. I missed you. He was naughty today. He climbed up on the kitchen table before I left for work this morning. And he didn't want to come down. So I think we're going to put it kind of up here. One more. All right, we will see. All right, so we're going to kind of just pull this apart like this. And we're going to start adding everything together. I'm going to go ahead and put it on a card base first. And I will tell you that I have found that for me, I like the Aqua Pigment paper the best for watercoloring, like this. It takes to water so well. Sorry, I was trying to make it straight. Well, there you go. If you're on the fence purchasing the Tri-Blend brush markers, some of the Tri-Blend, I don't know if these are the brush ones, but the Tri-Blends, I love them. They're fun to color with. They are good to color with. So we're going backwards. Next, we're going to use this. I'm going to start using some liquid glue though, because with shimmer and things like that, I like to use liquid glue. I like the Tri-Blends if you're trying to color because you can use they take so much of the guesswork of the blending. I'm going to push it up a little bit higher since we're going to cover that up. We're going to hold it down a minute just to make sure it's kind of good and stuck. And then we're going to start. And what I found is we're going to go ahead and we're just going to put some glue in the middle. Okay. Okay. There you go. Gray. Okay. So I have a gray. Yeah, I have a couple of those. Like this. So I have a couple of grays, if that's what you're talking about. I don't use these ones. These are the aqua ones. Okay, I think the aqua color ones, they came with a something. I haven't really used them much. So let's grab a number. They are, and for the coloring, somebody mentioned that, you know, you can Google and see what colors things are, but with the craziness of how everything is being able to dye colors and everything anymore, you really don't have to worry about them as much. Okay, those are brush markers. Okay. I just know that they're eventually on my list to continue to. I think we got to move this one over a little bit. We're not covering them up so much. Okay, now I'm not worried about the edges being under because we want to stick some of these in here. It's like I said, it's that kind of takes the thing out of it, the thinking out of it, because you have the 3 colors right there. But like I said, I Googled this morning. I saw that one this morning and it was such a pink. I've not really ever seen pink succulents. I'm sure there are pink succulents out there, but I've never seen them. And these were so pretty. And I thought, you know what? It doesn't really matter anymore what color your flowers are. You can make them whatever color you want because we do so much with different. Okay, we're just trying not to do it so I don't cut off too much of the flower. Too much of this. Here, we'll do it this way. There we go. Okay, we're gonna stick that down. And yeah, Ellen, I tend to I have some of the Olos. I tend to reach for the Tri-Blends because they're so much easier when I'm thinking about colors. And I just have a few of the Olos right now. And so I don't have all of the colors that will mix. Okay, that's too long, so we're going to cut that off. This isn't going to look, the leaves aren't going to be exactly how we had them before, but they're going to work. CYOE, exactly. And, you know, I mean, I remember doing this science experiment when I was a little girl, or with my kids. I can't remember, maybe it was with my kids. We took the carnations and we stuck them in each, cut it down the center. I know I've done it with celery too. And we stuck them in food coloring and watched the colors change. And I mean, poinsettias, purple poinsettias. I mean, really? I guess that doesn't seem natural to me, but they're beautiful. And I'm not saying not to get them, because they're beautiful. I'm going to put that one right there. All right. So now a little trick I learned from Miss Jennifer McGuire is to go back and you can add a little glue to where you need to. With one of these fine tips, you can go in and just grab some glue and stick it where you need to, if you need to. I want to add a little bit more there. And then we're going to kind of hold this down. What's always so magical to watch happen, Ellen? I'm sorry. It has one purple and one pink. Yep. I have seen blue poinsettias. I mean, I've seen pretty much, I think, every color anymore. Well, obviously, I have a friend that we have some. I changed this because I moved these around. We're gonna move this. We're gonna put this up in here. Actually, I'm not. I'm gonna put it down here in this corner. We gotta add a little bling. Oh yeah, putting flowers. Yep, it's so. And like I said, I did it once with celery, if you believe that. So, all right, we need to add a few gems, but look at how beautiful. Just adding a little bit of white and I mean, you can see the shimmer. There's some shimmer in all of them. There's obviously most shimmer in the pink because that's the Glinda. We're going to use the crystal. Yeah, the crystal ones. We're just going to grab, and I'm just going to add a few dots here and there where we're going to put a few. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll put one right there. That works for me. All right, Francie, I'm coming for you. We got that. We got that one. I've been loving these crystals. They sit on my desk all the time. They got their own little home on my desk now. Okay, are you ready, Francie? I'm gonna get your other eye now. Okay, there. Now you can stay home from work. Because you can't see tomorrow and be like, sorry, she poked my eye out last night. Thank you. I think it turned out great. It's beautiful. Thank you. I don't usually use a lot of pastels, but I think it's fun. So we have a few more. We can put together a quick card real quick because I already have background done. I don't know if I'm gonna get it on a card base, but we got a card. So I created this background last night. This is with cabbage and the stencil of the month zigzag, and then I did the sandstone embossing embossing powder. Okay, so this time I don't know what sentiment yet. I'm gonna go ahead and grab. We have two options here. I used some vellum. We're gonna cover a lot of that up. We're gonna use this as the doily. We got the vellum. But I did this at the last second, and it's going to be hard to see in person. We're going to kind of cover that up, but I'm going to add the Magnificent Wreath right on top. I think that's going to be fun. And we're going to go ahead and grab some sticky dots. And I'm going to do the wreath first. And then we'll add some of our colors, and then we'll decide, okay, which side has my dots? This side has my dots. And this is just, I'll be honest, this is just vellum from my stash. I've had some vellum in my stash for 20 some years. That makes sense, Kate. I took that out to use and then. That the veining would be, yeah, it does. It is a very, it is very Southwestern, especially with these colors. I thought that when I saw it. Oop, I just tore my wreath, so be careful. But that's okay. We'll make it work. And we don't have a ton of sticky dots on here yet, but I don't think I used a ton of sticky dots, but we're gonna make it work. I'm gonna stick that down. Do I not have any sticky dots on there? I might need a new sheet of sticky dots. Nope, it's sticking. It's sticking enough. Okay, so I think we're gonna do our arrangement first. We're gonna go ahead and use the black ones here. We're not gonna do as many, I think. We'll use this one, and then I did not do that one in black. Oh, my sticky dots. I put it on the wrong side, guys. It's sticking to everything. I don't know if I want to do one or two. We're gonna do the same ones, I think. And we're gonna just kind of add them in. I'm gonna put it right here because then I can go ahead and grab this and throw a bunch of glue right underneath this. And it's gonna stay right where I put it. We're gonna put it right smack dab in the center. And that had to fold because I tore my my vellum. Now it holds my vellum in place there like that. And then I think that one feels too big. So I think we're gonna put this one and this one in. I know they're all about the same colors, but I think we're gonna put this one down and then I'm gonna pop dot this one. I don't know. What do you think? Oh, thanks, Susan. Christopher activated a discount for right now. That is what the live discount is. Oh yes, a happy accident. You're correct about that. I actually think I'm only going to do 2 flowers. I think we're just going to do these 2, but I do think I want to pop that up. I've got to change my mind about that. Do I have any pop dots handy? I do. These are some old ones from my stash. Look, I'm almost out of them. I'm trying to use them up. Happy little clouds, right? Ah, it's sticking to me. I know we're just a little over. I know you guys don't mind, but I am going to try to get kind of finished up here fairly quickly, but we'll get this card done, make it fun and pretty. Okay, so we're going to just kind of cover this one up. I think, yep, we're just going to put that one right here. There we go. Yep, if you buy tonight during the live, you get a special discount. Yep, that's what it is. Is that Susan? I think that said that. So we've got this part. We need to add just a little bit. I don't think we're going to use these leaves because they are not, we're going to use those. We need a sentiment. I'm trying to choose these. We're going to do this courage one. I think that's the one we're going to do. And we are going to quickly stamp this out on cabbage with the sandstone. So I keep I've showed this before. These are job ticket holders off Amazon, and I keep all of my cardstock in there, including all of my mini little pieces. So, all right. Yes, take advantage. And there was a couple of bundles. There was a doodle flower bundle and a succulent cactus bundle. Sorry, I don't remember the exact name of it. Cactus background bundle, I think is what it was called. That was there. And so if you want to get those, I know I'm off screen just a little bit. I'm just my desk is messy. So I'm just stamping this with embossing ink. Quick. You guys have seen that before. Well, Linda, that'll make Heather happy. I have a couple of months yet before I will get to see Heather. It's coming fast though. It really is. A lot faster than I think so. All right, this is the sandstone. I'm going to dip it on there twice. Flower doodle bundle, cacti background, cacti background bundle, neon lunar paste bundle, tri-blend 24 brush. There you go. I know, Francie, I can't believe it's just around the corner. I mean, it is the middle of May and it's been busy at work the last couple of days. So I can't believe it's already May 8th. Woo! I got a little warm on the finger there. Penny, I think I'm flying. This time. Pretty sure that's the plan right now. I almost bought my tickets the other day, and then I was too tired. I put them on hold. I put it on by tomorrow because it was like late at night, and then I forgot. So I lost that one, but I have it on up weekly. I'm actually getting daily updates. So I'm just trying to decide time-wise on Monday. Oh, this die? Melissa, I have only, knock on wood, I have only lost one die. Besides the whole set of dies that I lost, but that is another whole thing. I think I left them behind at crop. I have a little magnetic bowl I can throw them in right there, but I tend to let them sit around on my desk, and then I have this fancy little magnet thing that comes from the thing. That is my goal too, Penny, for that one as well. We're not going to talk about quite December. I love winter, but I'm not quite there yet. Not quite there yet. All right, we're going to add the sentiment. We got to add some bling. All right, we're going to throw that in right here. Courage is only an accumulation of small steps. And then I'm going to use some more of these crystal gems. And we're going to put a bunch here. And we'll put a couple there. And then we'll see. I said the goal is to come to both. Now, does that mean that the weather's going to cooperate and I'll be able to get out the door in December from Iowa? We'll see. I should be able to. It hasn't been that bad at the beginning of December. This will be the year, because I said that it will be, right? Okay. I think we're going to add a couple more down here. And then I'm going to add one right there. Because we got to have an odd number, right? Is that an odd? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, we're going to add 2 more. We're going to add 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'll put one right there. Okay. There we go, you guys. I'm not quite there yet. What color? Oh, I use the sandstone, Melissa. Same as the background. It's on cabbage. I'll pull that up. So let's quick put these away so I don't mess them up. Yeah, it's a long drive for me, I think. So it's easier for me to fly in the long run. Even if I was to meet up with Penny, it would take me, by the time I did that and parked, most of that is that. So we used the succulent and cacti stamp set and the embossing powder tonight. It does look great on cabbage. So these are my cards, you guys. So I will put this on a card base after. Let's grab one here quick, but I'll put it on after. after we get off here. And there we go, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and check out Quick Shop. Well, you still have a second with the Candi Live code in there, and check out the great bundles Christopher gave tonight. And I hope to see you next week. Probably the day of the month is what we will play with. So have a good night, you guys. We will see you next week. Thank you.